Well, I'll see you here in a second. Where are you located?
I am actually in South Florida.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Hey, we are landlocked here in Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, I think of tornadoes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I've never seen one. I've really wanted to see one in my life, and I never have. I've heard, like, when I was a kid up the street, there was one that hit our playground, and it was like part of like legend when we were kids. We were like, here's the hole where it started, because the whole thing, it was on the soccer field we were at. But I think it was kids just making things up. I don't think anyone knew, But anyway, yeah, it's interesting. I prefer the ocean versus tornadoes. So
Yeah. Yeah, I do too.
well, hey, it's great to meet you. Thank you for taking a minute out today. I appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Are we doing the quick get to know you or are we doing the interview today?
Oh,
What you doing?
I come from jazz radio, so I'm always ready to dive in. So whenever you're ready.
Oh, fantastic. All right. So are we going past 11?
No.
Okay. All right. Excellent. I'm ready to dive in.
Ready?
10%.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Excellent. So again, thank you for taking a minute out. And we were kind of talking a little bit about Midwest calamities, but we all went through a global thing with COVID. How did you survive those 3 years? And how has it changed the way that you do things now?
What a great question. Well, I'd like to start with a little story,
Sure.
starting with, the beginning of the reinvention evolution, as I like to call it, of 2020.
Yeah.
Well, I just moved out of my big, beautiful home and I was on my way to getting Zoom divorced.
Uh-huh.
And virtual school became a reality. And my three savages, I mean, my sweet three boys,
Sure.
and I moved into an apartment. And my job in the seniors industry virtually evaporated because you couldn't go near a senior citizen at the time.
Yeah.
And I got a random Zoom business networking link. And it was a random Sunday. I still to this day have no idea how I got a link to this meeting. And I showed up on a Thursday morning, 8 a.m. This guy, Brian, goes, Bridget Hom, give your 30 seconds. And I said, thinking, dang it, he mispronounced my last name. What am I supposed to say? And I was like, do I pitch my placement agency or do I pitch Bridge to Freedom Coaching, which was just a side hustle at the time? I'd had a total of 3 clients and my brain made a split decision for me. And I said, Bridget Hom here at Bridge to Freedom Coaching. Are you ready to level up? And I had 6 clients within 6 weeks. My
Wow.
90-day Find Your Freedom programs were born, self-paced programs, live speaking engagements, my best-selling book, Stuck on Ready. And here we are today.
Wow, that's great. So it was actually, good timing. The universe was looking out and handed you an opportunity and you took it.
Yeah, that's how I titled the book Stuck on Ready because, in business and in life, you have to be stuck on ready to make moves,
Yeah.
to take imperfect action, right? Because perfect action is really synonymous with procrastination and that doesn't get us anywhere.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. So let's get to the essence of exactly what you do. I'm going to put you in front of a bunch of third graders at career day. Okay.
I've done it.
All
I've
right.
done it. I'm
So you
ready.
so you're ready. You're well versed. So one of the kids says, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" How do you answer them?
I help mommy and daddy make money.
Okay. All right. So what did you want to be when you were in the third grade?
Oh my gosh. I have no idea. I did, you know what? Let's go a little further up. I actually wanted to be a nurse so I could travel. So I started out college as a nursing major, but thank God I flunked out of that. I saved more lives flunking out of nursing school. Um, but I honestly, I just really wanted to help people. And you're gonna find this a little funny, but I actually wanted to be a nun at one point,
Okay.
to really serve the world in any way possible.
Yeah.
So that was really important to me. That's probably why I went for ministry right out of college. I was working
Yeah.
on my master's in Catholic theology at Notre Dame, actually, once upon a time. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, so that's always kind of been my heart. I really love to help people problem solve, to help them figure out who they are, who they're being when they're doing. So in response to a third grader, I'd say I help mommy and daddy to make money, but then love their lives and spend more time with you. So
That's
that's what I
per that's perfect. Totally. So let's go back to your childhood. Where were you born and raised, and what were the seeds that were planted into you to want to do this, to have this career to help people out?
Well, I often say I had a pretty abnormal childhood. My parents loved each other. They're married for 45 years. We went to church every Sunday. we actually had family meetings on Sunday night. Like aye or nay, do you
Yeah.
approve the minutes of last week? Yeah, it was interesting. And we Irish, Italian, Catholic background, so
Mhm.
dinner table, it was laughing, crying, etc. My
Yeah.
exactly. So my dad and my mom, my dad was always an entrepreneur, always in business, sales, marketing, mindset, and my mom was public relations. You'll find this story interesting. So when she married my dad and they were looking at having children, she actually created a business card that said domestic engineer because she didn't, she's like, how do I meet people? And so,
That's
yeah,
cool.
so it was, it was, so I adopted that and actually wrote it on a resume. Team building
Nice.
skills, leadership skills, time management, conflict resolution. You get the gist.
Yeah. 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 So talk to me a little bit about who's been kind of a consistent hero or a role model for you.
Gosh, I don't know how this is gonna sound to you, but I get inspired by the people who are all around me. I love Napoleon Hill's work. If I could meet someone today, bring him back from the past, I would have a whole conversation with Napoleon Hill and just pick his brain. But I absolutely cherish the people that I'm meeting right now who are doing great things. So any person in front of me who tells me a little bit about their story, that gives me a little nugget of inspiration. So instead of looking to the Elon Musks or Tony Robbins or John Maxwell, I really focus in on being inspired by the person who's in front of me and their story and pulling that out of them.
So talk to me a little bit about of everybody alive today, who would you like to meet?
Oh, I would really like to have a conversation with Donald Trump.
Okay. If you could ask him one question, what would it be?
What is your vision and game plan if you were to run the country as it is right now?
Gotcha.
I think we lack vision for the most part as a country, and we get trapped in little ideologies, and it prevents us from looking at the big picture and then working backwards. How are we going to get there?
Yeah.
So I would like to, there's a lot of controversial things going on, well, about anyone who's in the spotlight in our country.
Yeah.
So I would really like to have a conversation with him about that.
So tell me to a certain degree what you're asking as far as your vision. What is the fuel for you every day to do what you do? What is the fire that makes you want to help people and be who you are?
You know, I've got to be 100% honest. I am inspired by empowering others, but I have a very, very deep rooted faith and spirituality that has been a constant for me forever. I always see things as functioning in God's economy. Like I'll joke with many people that I've talked to all across the spectrum of spirituality, religion, etc. And I'm like, well, I kind of make God my employer every day, and I'm the CEO of my life and business. But the truth is, my best skill set is best served with helping people figure out who they are. I was that friend of a friend in seventh grade who got a call from a stranger that says, hey, so and so told me, Christina told me to call you. I'm going through some stuff. And I said, what's your problem?
Yeah.
What is your problem that's stopping you, that's preventing you from feeling authentic and who you are? So I didn't care what track they were on. It didn't matter to me. If we were completely different sides of the spectrum, politically, religiously, anything of that nature, I would just want to figure out, get on your track and figure out what the destination is for your track right now, what you truly believe you deserve, you should have as success or authenticity.
What's your favorite success story, favorite client success story that you've been through?
The one that comes to mind was actually an ER doctor that I worked with. And it's funny how we met. It was through a great referral partnership. And after the 90-day Find Your Freedom program, she said this. She said, I feel like I met myself for the first time. And I've launched 2 businesses successfully.
Wow.
And that's what fuels me, right? Isn't
Sure.
that, it's like what
Yeah.
fuels
Yeah.
you? Hearing people's stories. That's why you do what you do.
Yeah. Sure. Sure. Yeah. No, that's it. That's the bread and butter right there. That's what you do. So what are you the proudest of that you've done up to this point in your life? What are you just absolutely proud of?
Oh man, we're going to take it a little personal here. So I'll give you a personal and professional. So personal first. My 3 boys are being raised to become men, and they're so aware of others, and they're so compassionate, and they have very clear and strong beliefs, and they can listen well to other people, and they're hardworking, and they have great perspectives. Actually, my 8-year-old got out of 1st grade and goes, "Mom, I'm gonna be an entrepreneur." And he proceeded to try to sell, door to door in our neighborhood, which I'm like, "We can, get kicked out for that. Let's not do that yet."
Yeah.
Uh, so I'm proud that I've been able to help my boys to be discerning, aware, and they're already starting to think independently. They're already starting to think, "Okay, what is my destination for where I want life to be?" And along the way, my goal is to empower the person in front of me no matter what. So that's personal. Professionally, um, I never wanted to pursue a career that was totally virtual. And now I coach people internationally only virtually.
Yeah.
I was adamantly opposed to the online world, which is why we would have never met.
Yeah.
And so it's the hugest accomplishment that I've been able to inspire and empower so many people to launch businesses, to be more successful, to have thriving lives at the same time as thriving businesses. In the setting that I do between the hours of 8 a.m. and 3 p.m.
What is your favorite business success story? You know, you got Apple. I mean, the FedEx owner went to Vegas and gambled and made enough money because he was going to file for Chapter 11. There's all these things, but what is the business story that you like the best?
I love the business stories where the person got a million no's and they kept going. Oh gosh, I'm blanking on this gentleman's name, but what he did was he saw who he needed to connect to get his job accomplished, his next move for success, and he didn't let anything stop him from contacting this one gentleman. It didn't matter how, far removed he was in the world, because if you look at where he was in the world in his garage and the person that he needed to connect to, there was a valley between the two of them, but all he saw was, that's one phone call. That's one phone call. I love the book Who Not How. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah.
It's exactly that mentality. So I admire people who see, this is where I have to get to, this is who I have to connect with, and then just do it.
Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
the best success story there ever is. I'm not impressed by someone who hits success without talking about all the no's that they had to get to that one yes. That's what I'm impressed by perseverance and persistence, as Napoleon Hill talks about in Think and Grow Rich.
Absolutely. So, if you have a dream tonight, you run into the 20-year-old version of yourself, and you could give that younger version of you a piece of advice based on the life you've led, the wisdom you've gained, what would you tell your young version?
I would say keep going and keep aligning with your future successful self and the vision of what that is. My vision, at 20 was a little different. I planned to have children soon and early. I did. And then I knew in my 30s I would launch into business. But the vision was always to empower people on a massive scale to be extremely authentic and true to themselves, know exactly what they believe, know exactly what they want, and let nothing stop them from going after that. And so that I was already growing that muscle, so to speak,
Yeah.
with any conversation I had with people. And so when you add conversation after conversation, it becomes, that passion becomes purpose, and that purpose becomes, a career that propels you into helping people solve their problems faster. I kind of got on a P train there.
That's good. That's good. So let's get to the essence of you. There's all these people that exist in your life, different groups, family, friends, clients, colleagues, but you are in control of your life. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
I am a powerful influencer, a master connector, and a master relationship builder. And anywhere you put me, I will show up as one of those words.
Excellent. Bridget, if anyone wants to know more about hire you, learn about your business, anything about your world, where can they go?
They can go to my website, bridgethom.com, or if they want to get directly on my calendar to help them solve their problems faster, it's just bridgethom.me.
Excellent, Bridget. This has been great. Thank you so much for taking time out. Best of luck with everything.
Hey, thanks so much, Joe. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. Take care.